Many of us who have been victims of gang stalking at one point or another have believed that there has been technology which is what has enabled perpetrators to attack us in an invisible manner. It is believed that there are weapons that can cause psychological distress, physiological pain, strange thoughts, involuntary activation of muscles. I believed it was true. However, the truth is that targets have been lied to. Gang stalking is purely psychological. However, because the methods of manipulation are so clandestine, so secretive, well, not anymore, because they're all here on my channel, but so secretive that the cause that targets are unable to make sense of it, and the only explanation is technology. In the search to find logic, targets themselves and perpetrators have dispelled information that helps them explain what they feel, what they think. It helps them explain the reality of gang stalking. And right now, we are dispelling the truth of a PowerPoint presentation supposedly written by Dr. Bailey. This is the third part of the series, and we are on page 31. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Efren Rodriguez, and this is The Mind's Eye, previously known as the Gang Stalking, the only channel with the truth. Here we go. Our next page in Bailey's mind control presentation starts with Senator John Glenn. And this is what it says. Senator John Glenn publicly expressed outrage that this government has been found to be engaging in brutal forms of involuntary human experimentation, and that any and all forms of this type of experimentation be exposed. He stated that there are experiments with non-ionizing, so-called non-lethal, directed energy weapons, surveillance, and psychotronic systems. He opposes microwave harassment and mind control experimentation, especially connected to Los Alamos National Laboratory, the Department of Energy, the Department of Defense, CIA, and the National Reconnaissance. How do you even pronounce that? Reconnaissance Office. He stated that the Department of Defense has increased in the numbers of ground wave emergency network (GWEN) towers and satellites that qualify as directed energy emitters, microwave towers, and antennae arrays. John Glenn is also a member of the electronic surveillance project that is trying to stop these forms of harassment and human experimentation. Okay, so that is just telling us about a senator. So this doesn't prove anything. Well, what? So what? This is not saying anything. It is just words. What does that do? So I feel that the purpose of this is to put electronic mind control ideas in the target's minds. By the way, I sent an email to Dr. Bailey. By the end of the series, we're going to do an investigation of Dr. Bailey. And we're going to find out what he is all about. And hopefully get more introspection onto what he does. And if it was actually him who put this PowerPoint together. One thing that I have to tell you though is that I tried contacting him. And he wanted to charge me $75 to message him. If you want me to message him, send me $75 and I'll do it. You can do it yourself if you don't trust me with $75. I will put a link in the description to his personal website. I also looked for his email information and I just was not able to find it. So now we're moving on Citizens Against Human Rights Abuse. And it says the following. Scientists, many of which are Nobel Prize winners in this human rights organization, have documented for years the numerous abuses of electromagnetic weapons and electromagnetic radiation, EMR, mind control weapons. Most of the perpetrators of this abuse has been Russia and the United States. The International Red Cross has also verified these offenses. So notice how it starts with Citizens Against Human Rights Abuse, but then it begins talking about scientists. And there's no specific scientists. It's only many of which are Nobel Prize winners. So we went to the website and it took us to an article. And then we have information or more about it. But it is just experiments. But listen, the military has always experimented. It always has. This is not new. So this is from 2001, but it doesn't prove anything. There's no pictures, nothing. And listen how here it's talking about Russia and the United States. This is all military technology. The military has always had technology years ahead of the citizens. Okay, so now we're going back to our next one that says Russian Defense Minister. In March 2012, the Russian Defense Minister Anatoly Sergeyukov said the development of weaponry based on new physics principles, direct energy weapons, geophysical weapons, wave energy weapons, genetic weapons, psychotronic weapons, etc. is part of the State Arms Procurement Program for 2021-2020, Voice of Russia. So we went to the website and we got Sputnik 404. So website not found. Now we are on the European Parliament and it says the following. A directed energy weapon system is designed to match a radio frequency source to interfere with human brain activity at a synapse level. Since 1999, those weapons have been upgraded and should be banned in the world, United Nations. The United Nations also agreed with this report and stated the United States is the main country of the world to use directed energy weapons and electromagnetic weapons. Okay. The former United States Secretary of Defense, William Cohen, stated in a press briefing while commenting on new technological threats possibly held by terrorist organizations. Others are engaging in an eco type of terrorism whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes and volcanoes remotely using the use of electromagnetic waves. Okay, so look, that's cool. Let's screenshot that image and let's open our friendly Google Eye and let's search for that image. So the image is a high-frequency active Aurora research program. So now we are on U.S. Air Forces in Europe and in Africa. And it does say that it has the ability to create ionospheric perturbations in a small region over the facility and stable long-lived ionospheric layers, even in the absence of auroral activity. So it is not that it's like mind control. This is not weather control, like many people say or claim. Well, this is what they're claiming about this. It says, the former United States Secretary of Defense, William Cohen, stated in a press briefing while commenting on new technological threats possibly held by terrorist organizations. Others are engaging in an eco type of terrorism, whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes and volcanoes remotely using the use of electromagnetic waves. Really, boo? Really? Really, Dr. Bailey? Okay, now we're getting to the target individual part. Are you guys ready? Let's go. This is what it says. Hey there, welcome to The Mind's Eye, previously known as the Gang's Talking Playbook. In this channel, we talk about the mind, and I share with you techniques on how to use your mind's eye in order to be the best version of yourself. If you are new here, you probably have no idea who I am and have absolutely no reason to believe anything that I say, which is fair, I understand. However, I challenge you to give my techniques an honest try. Try the programming. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. When the programming works for you, subscribe, give me a like, write me a comment, or share with your loved one. I will be eternally grateful to you. Now, we're going back to the video. Wait, listen. Notice that first, this whole presentation gives you the technology. It's first, put in the technology first. It's first the technology. Boom. And then it talks about the targeted individual. Wouldn't it be more believable or more logically structured that this would start, it should start with the targeted individual? That's my opinion though, because that is what this is all about. Now, here we go. It says, a targeted individual. Targeted individuals are people who are illegally and covertly stalked, tortured, and harassed by the use of high-tech, modern-day military-type technologies, DARPA, NASA, CIA, etc. Targets victims are usually implanted with RFID, radio remote frequency identification device, type transmitter chips, positive ID and variant chips, and sometimes miniature nanobiochips and stimulators transmitters, mostly for GPS tracking purposes. Targets can be remotely connected to via radio frequency signals sent to the chips, thus the mind and body being in theory wirelessly connected and controlled and manipulated. They are targeted individuals, victims of psychotronic or mind control, electronic, electromagnetic, directed energy, neurological, and non-lethal weapons. Oof, those are a lot of fucking words, let me tell you. Who are being targeted unjustly or used as human subjects in experiments without their informed consent. Victims of mind-body control detail the most extreme and totalitarian violations of human rights and human history. Criminals may implant people with microchips or nanomaterials and place them under continuous surveillance, They monitor the human brain, continuously alter consciousness and behavior, directly assault and torture mind and bodies of the human subject. These are some of the symptoms that targeted individuals may experience. A. Microwave hearing, torture with loud noise. B. Visual hallucinations, artificial dreams. C. Reading thoughts, retrieving memories. D. Manipulation of thoughts, will, emotions, desires, and perceptions. E. Manipulation of human behavior, forced speech, involuntary body movements, transmission of specific commands into the subconscious, compulsory execution of these commands, i.e., the Manchurian candidate effect. F. Debilitation of mental acuity, loss of memory. G. Sleep deprivation or uncontrollable sleep. H. Cramps, spasms, excruciating artificial pain in any part of the body, manipulation of body systems, including heart attacks and other serious medical conditions. Look, notice that these symptoms are immediately put in a technological perspective. If you are a new target, just know that what I'm reading is all bullshit. The symptoms are true, however, do not attribute them to electronic devices or to technology, because that is a complete lie. As soon as you understand that there is no such thing as electronic harassment, and it is all one person, and it is all harassment, that it is done in front of your eyes, only then you're going to be able to come back from that. What this is doing is that if you believe that it is all a technologically driven operation, you are going to feel powerless. You are never going to give yourself the opportunity to investigate these causes, because literally all these effects are your mind being used against you. All of this information is put together by people who do not want targets to know that gang stalking is a psychological operation. Look at me. I believe this shit. I believed it for a little bit because I figured out that it was all my mind. And then when I did that, I was able to change all the gang stalking experience. I was able to move the hallucinations around. I was able to move the pain around. Why? Because I was in control the entire time. This is made for targets to never try to figure this out, because this takes away the power of the target. And it blinds them from knowing that they have had the power all along. If you are a new target, check out my videos where I tell you where does the V2K come from. I tell you how they read your thoughts. I explain to you all the methods that are used to make you believe that you are being electronically harassed. So now we see a bunch of websites about targeted individuals. And look, these websites, I'm sure they were actually made by people who actually are believers of gang stalking. However, people who enjoy gang stalking are gonna put themselves as targets. And guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna find out what the targets are using, what the targets are believing, and they're gonna start pushing those ideas more to push the technological narrative. When I began this channel, everyone was telling me, no, it is all technology, it is all technology. But now, not a single person is contradicting me anymore. Why? Because of the information that I have dispelled here, and because I have explained every single thing, how it was done to targets. Everyone who was a target understands why all of this happened. They understand everything about gang stalking. And if you're a new target, check out the videos, and I guarantee you, in 5 months or less, you're gonna be fucking out of it. You're gonna be able to understand everything that there is to understand about gang stalking. There, I share with you all my experience from the moment that I realized that there was no such thing as direct energy weapons. Warning, a lot of these websites are actually made to get victims of gang stalking to pay money for that to stop. If you're a targeted individual and you are being made or being told to pay money for the gang stalking to stop, just know it's a scam. Just know it. So now we are moving on to the page 42, and it says future strategic issues, future warfare. And this is what it says, page 43. Currently, order of 70% of world's research conducted outside of US, first to order a percent of GDP US produces, order of 18 of world's GDP. What the fuck is GDP? Gross domestic product. So, order of 70% of US research now commercial has opposed to government sponsored. Research of commercial research. Okay, so I guess Mr. Bailey attached a NASA fucking PowerPoint presentation that says types of warfare: hunter-gatherer, nature provided; agriculture, controlled nature, plants, animals; industrial, mechanized agriculture; information technologies, biologic or nano, automated industry, agriculture, virtual, robotization of IT, bio, nano industry, and agriculture. Worldwide IT revolution. This is just numbers of market research. A real transgenic spider goat. What does this have to do with gang stalking? Or with targeted individuals? Spider genes in goats allow spider silk spinning from goat milk for biosteel. What does that have to do? So this is like all a presentation put together to indoctrinate people who are victims of gang stalking into gang stalking. I feel like this is an indoctrination. And then we have like a picture of a fucking screensaver for Windows XP, and that's the Phantom. Sensor swarms, smart dust, nanotags, co-opted insects. So look, here when it says on this page, if you look at the image of the penny and we zoom in on the penny, you can tell that that is just a little cutout. That is not an actual chip. Like that's obviously a little cutout. So now we're on this same NASA thing and we are looking at the air delivery. This is what it says. Air delivery. Researchers are exploring a number of methods for deploying smart dust. One technique involves the use of tiny unmanned aircraft that would spray molds over an area like a miniature crop duster and then relay the resulting information back to base station. Little wing computers. Researchers are also exploring ways of prolonging the time by smart dust remains airborne by adding wings like those on maple seeds. The researchers hope to extend that period of 2 or 3-fold. Gathering data on the fly. Researchers at the University of California are developing tiny electronic devices called smart dust. So same thing. Listen, if you're getting gang stalked, please don't grow paranoid about smart dust. Just don't. Because do you really think that this shit is going to be like all around us right now? If you do, just know it's all bullshit. Volumetric weaponry. Look, this is all a bunch of terms that I don't understand and I don't feel like looking for them. So what the fuck is volumetric weaponry? This is what it says. Volumetric weaponry. Volumetric weapons are a class of weapons that use oxygen from the air to create high temperature explosion. They include thermobaric weapons and fuel air explosives, FAE. So it feels like this whole thing is just to like make us panic, don't you think? Don't you feel like this is like something to just make you freak out? It's literally like it's like a vision of the Bible. Like this literally feels like a Bible because it feels like I'm being indoctrinated into believing this. I actually feel like that is the effect that this has. So that's exactly how people get indoctrinated. If you're getting gang stalked, right? And you're in a state of panic and you look online, what is gang stalking? And you find this shit. This is gonna explain everything, right? To a targeted individual. So guess what? They're gonna believe it because this feels like it's the solution to their problem. So they're gonna go on an evangelic quest to tell everyone that these things are real. That's what happens. Same shit with the Bible. People that were like, I'm suffering, and then they read the Bible, they feel better, and then they become evangelists of the Bible. Same shit. This thing is an intent of indoctrination. It's the only thing that makes sense. It is indoctrination. I am hoping that you find these videos before you get to read this. So how is this? So this is just like to make you panic. Why would a doctor wanna write about psychotronic? Like psychotronic weapons, we would be already done, for real. Because these are like bombs. This has nothing to do with psychotronics, nothing. Like, now we're going on to Slingatron. That is not even a psychotronic weapon. That is just a fucking mass accelerator. Potential future orders of magnitude increases overall weapon effectiveness, availability, and orders of magnitude reduce costs. So, chemtrails. Inside of a U.S. chemtrail plane. Major U.S. warfare issues. Non-explosive warfare. Cyber war, bio war, IT war, net war, anti-operability war, beam weaponry. So, robotic warfare in the large, better than humans, cyber life. And look, this image, it just looks like all fake. Like you can tell this is like some fake image. That is the fucking thing that they sent to Mars. It just looks so fake. DARPA laser weapon. That's just all fake. Like you can just fucking see it. And that's fucking Terminator. Robotic soldiers. Robotic soldiers are being created right now in the world to build a huge army against humans and God. The New World Order is not going to reveal their plans on the evening news. Do you really think that a doctor is going to put a fucking face of Terminator? Look at how absurd this is. Singularity. Okay, let's keep talking about this. This is what it says. The technological singularity is a theoretical movement in time when artificial intelligence will have progressed to the point of greater than human intelligence, they will radically change human civilization. According to Emma Eden, Ray Kurzweil says, revolutions in genetics, nanotechnology, and robotics will usher in the beginning of the singularity. Robots and cybernetic organisms are developing at a very fast pace that is blurring the line between humans and robots. Singularity is the name of the last boss in Bayonetta 3. Now we're going to bionic skin for a cyborg you. Flexible electronics allow us to cover robots and humans with stretchy sensors. I swear to God, it says sketchy. 2013. This says, 1 decade ago, my research group at the University of Tokyo created a flexible electronic mesh and wrapped it around the mechanical bones of a robotic hand. We had dreamed of making an electronic skin embedded with temperature and pressure sensors that could be worn by a robot. If a robotic health aide shook hands with a human patient without this sensor-clad e-skin would be able to measure some of the person's vital signs at the same time. How is this psychotronic weaponry? Gilded skin. FEMA camp. Now we have FEMA camps in the US. Matt, I am inquiring in regards to the following. Break down the total possible servings available for immediately delivery. Let me turn on the light. Alrighty, so we are gonna stop here because I'm losing the light. And on our next part of the reality of psychotronic weapons, we are gonna continue reading our targeted individual indoctrinating Bible. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions or you have your own opinions about the material that we're covering here, you are more than welcome to put it in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. That's it for today, folks. Have a good evening. Bye. Dr. Mapasa.